Hi, this is Karen and Mike from G2M Research, and we are here at Flash Memory Summit, and we are doing In the Hot Seat. We're talking about what's hot and what's not in security, storage, and high tech. I'll let Mike do the introductions for our guest in the hot seat.
Thank you, Karen. And with us is Al Yanis. Al is the president of PCI SIG. He's going to tell us about all the great things they're announcing or have announced at the show this week, and we'll get to ask him a few questions about what that means for the industry in general. Thank you for being here, Al.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Excellent. So, just first question: what are you guys announcing at the show this week? What are your kind of big three things you have going on?
Well, three items that we're talking to the press about are PCI Express 4.0. PCI Express 4.0 products are being deployed currently in the industry, and this month we start our formal compliance of PCI Express 4.0. So we're excited about the adoption. We're excited about the products being announced in the industry. So PCI Express 4.0 is kind of like a done deal and just executing. Last month, we announced the specification for PCI Express 5.0, and that's running 32 gigabit transfers per second. And so the spec is out. Folks are going to start to adopt them, and products will start coming out within between 12 and 18 months from now. So we're excited about that. In addition, believe it or not, we also announced that we started the specification on PCI Express 6.0. So there's been a lot of excitement in the industry. We announced that we're going to run 64 gigabit transfers per second. We're going to switch from NRZ technology to PAM4 technology. We're going to have a forward error correction code that will allow us to improve our bandwidth efficiency. So a lot of excitement within the organization. Our membership is at a 10-year all-time high. A lot of members. We've seen a lot of trends among our members adopting new industries like automotive, virtual reality, some of the deep learning and artificial intelligence. So we're very excited about our technologies. We're excited about where we've come from and what the future holds for us.
Let me ask you about that increase in membership. Why do you see that happening? What are the changes that are driving all of this? I mean, you just announced so many things that are going on. So what is kind of driving all of this?
Very good question. Initially, PCI Express was more of a server technology, but over the years, we've adopted it and modified it to be very power friendly. So we've seen a lot of adoption in the mobile space, and that's been very effective for us. With mobile and low power applications, you got Internet of Things, so you got a lot of different new industries that we can penetrate and adopt in. Another thing that's happened is automotive. You know, those cars are getting so darn complicated. Well, they need computers. Well, a lot of the CPUs have PCI Express coming off the interface, so that allows PCI Express to enter the automotive space. So we have our traditional servers and storage. You know, this is a storage conference, and NVMe is all about PCI Express. So, and I think there's been a couple announcements this week about NVMe adopting PCI Express 4.0. So with all these announcements, it gives our members and the industry information about the future of where we're going to go, where we're going to take the technology, so folks can plan their products, can intercept the different technology with the different technology nodes that they have. So everybody knows where we're going and where we're currently at. So the future is bright for us.
Well, I was going to ask you. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of symbiosis between NVMe and PCI Express.
Yep.
I have to imagine that also helps too. You know.
Oh yeah, the storage NVMe has been very good for PCI Express because the whole storage space is really taking that on. We've also seen SD Express cards come out that are using NVMe with SDA Alliance. So we see a lot of trends. A lot of folks, you know, PCI Express is the answer. You know, what was the question?
I'll have to remember that. I like that. So, I remember in the days when Hot Plug was originally put in the spec and then nobody really did it.
Sure.
Are you seeing some changes in that where more people are starting to do Hot Plug or things like that?
It's always tricky with the Hot Plug and the power consumption. But like I said, we've done L0 substates. It's been our low power kind of a technique. And the point there is we've learned over the years that if you burst data and then turn things off, it's a lot more effective power-wise than if you trickle data and and you're constantly consuming power and energy.
Okay.
So we've come up with different schemes. We have I think I just saw the announcement or the update today. We have 817 member companies. We got a
Wow.
lot of member companies, and they come up with a lot of good ideas. And it's a one-tier organization. RAN, reciprocal and non-discriminatory IP policy, $4,000. It's one level playing field for everybody.
Doesn't matter how big or how small you are, everybody's got the same vote. That's
Exactly.
nice.
Well, and you talked about the increase in membership too, that this year it's at the all-time high. That's an additional change. Why are there more members this year?
I just think that folks are clamoring for it.
I mean, do you think they want to participate in the changes? Do you think they,
I think
have
they
a
wanna
bigger
participate-
stake?
I think they want to participate in the changes, or they're an IPO and then they're going to enter a particular space and they want to know about it. So it's hard to say, but like I said, we did a little study, and automotive was there, virtual reality, artificial intelligence.
So a lot of it relates maybe to some of these more emerging technologies.
Exactly, emerging technologies. A lot of companies from Asia are joining the organization.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, a plethora of things.
Yeah, I did notice that you have a number of conferences pretty much all over the world in the next couple of months. Do you want to
Yeah,
tell
we
us
do.
about some of those?
Yeah, we do compliance all over. We make sure that our members' products interoperate among themselves. So the industry is, there's no gotchas in the industry. So they're free to all our members. A plug fest, compliance testing, interoperability testing. And we do that here in the Bay Area. We also do it in Asia. We also do it in Europe and Israel. So
Nice.
we go all over the world, free to our members, and that's part of the give back, because if all our members' technologies work, we're going to have a successful technology.
One of the things I've noticed too is people, sometimes are really slow to get involved, and then all of a sudden everybody recognizes the changes, and now they want to get on board. What do you think about those that aren't getting on board? Like, what is the differentiator in that case?
They sometimes they don't know.
It's an education
It's an
thing?
education
Okay.
thing. Like anybody can run for the board.
Okay.
Anybody. But, we don't get a lot of people who run for the board. Anybody can participate in the work group. You can apply, you can observe. There's different categories because we can't have 800 members in a work group, but we can have a certain tiers of participation. And when I hear complaints about, well, we didn't do this or we didn't do that, well, get involved. It's the same.
Yeah.
I really like what you're saying in terms of, really inviting participation. Who would you love to have, join the board? Who would you, who out there is listening and says, oh, well, they wouldn't, like
Sure.
what is missing? What is missing on the board?
Well, any of the high consumer, brand companies that have a lot of volume, those will always be interesting for us, because we still lean to servers in
Right,
traditional old iron, and consumer and high volume. That would always be.
Okay, so that's a shout out to those, people that are maybe thinking,
I'm not gonna
you
name
know,
any companies.
no, we're not going to name any companies,
Come on,
but
big consumer electronics guys.
Yeah.
join
But the
up.
point is that they're welcome, and they shouldn't think that that they have to be of a certain ideology or a certain background or a certain interest in order to get involved. You want that diversity. You'd
Yes.
like to see a board that hits all of those different areas.
Yeah, this year we had ARM join the board.
Nice.
So that's a good sort of a mobile consumer kind of an organization, a company. So it's good to have the infusion of new ideas and new blood.
Absolutely, different perspectives.
So I'll ask you the $64 question, or maybe it's not.
In the hot seat.
How many more generations do you think you can go before you need to go to optical technology,
That's
for
great.
instance?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
The answer changes every year.
Yeah, it does.
'Cause 4 years ago, I would have said, this is the year we go optical.
Yeah.
Guess not. Guess what? We're not going optical.
Yes.
2 years. Because we're announcing PCI Express 6.0 is going to be released in 2021. And that's going to be PAM4, traditional, not optics.
Yes. Yeah.
And every time we look at optics, it's just not cost effective
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
But boy, it's got to get there one of these days. Right?
Well, it's funny because I've been in this industry for almost 30 years, and if you told me we have buses going this fast 20 years ago, I would have said you're crazy, right?
I hear you.
That's microwave technology, as we used to call it back then.
The analog engineers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're a premium because the things they do are it's kind of magical. And we got a lot of smart people. I've mentioned that before in our work group. We had 24 member companies participate in the first kickoff of the electrical work group study for 6.0. So we got a lot of smart people, and helps with success.
Well, it's early. It's early at the conference. What are you looking forward to this week?
Well, we met with the press today. We have a booth where 20 member companies are displaying their technologies. So we're here just to evangelize, really. PCI Express.
So, what booth number are you? Where are you at?
Sorry about that. 949.
949. Okay. All right. No, I just thought we'd throw that out there.
Yeah,
Well, thank you much. I really appreciate you
Thank you so
spending some
much.
time with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.